Mr. Kotak, you had warned us of the risk of inflation, the wolf of inflation. I remember pre-COVID, and you've been sort of reiterating that risk, and we've seen what's happened since then. At this point in time, as you look at your dashboard, what's flashing red?
I think the good news is I'm struggling between whether we are in a story of Goldilocks or Cinderella. Cinderella has a problem of midnight. Goldilocks is Goldilocks. So we are in a good place. But the question which always comes to me from a risk point of view in my mind is, I think about current account deficit of a country as a profit and loss account. And India has had that challenge of having a negative profit and loss account for as long as I can remember. For a true resilient India, we should reach a point where we are not dependent on external financing for meeting our imports. And that is something which is very critical. And if geopolitics and other challenges happen, a current account deficit means we need dollar checks to fill our hole. We have to correct that over a period of time. But it doesn't seem to be correcting itself over a long period of time. So that is one thing which always bothers me. On the positive side, I think the finance minister mentioned in her budget about how per capita income. We like to talk about India becoming the fifth largest economy. That's great in the big picture, but we have a denominator challenge. We have 1.4 billion people. Therefore, when you divide it, our per capita, as she mentioned, is 1,97,000 rupees, which is $2,500. The opportunity for every one of us is how can we take this $2,500 per capita and not absolute GDP to $10,000 per capita. That is the single biggest opportunity for us to achieve in the next period as we look about it.
Next period means what?
It depends on what rate you compound. That is it. And what rate you compound and to what extent your currency holds. If your currency keeps on also depreciating, per capita $10,000 is a moving target. But we must work towards a goal of a per capita target in addition to absolute GDP target. So Rajiv, next time you have a 2047.
Our report was on per capita.
On per capita. I have to say.
$2,500 going to $15,000 in 25 years, and that's India's biggest opportunity. Even if it's 12,500, it's fine.
I agree.
That is India's biggest
India
opportunity.
has to not only move from the lower end of middle income, probably we are just below the lower end of middle income, to above the middle income. Because we have to get beyond the middle income trap as well. And that is something which I think is one of the biggest opportunities for India and every Indian.
I'm curious, why Cinderella?
Cinderella, because it's back to...
No, because it's a very specific, it's a short time window that Cinderella had to go out there and sort of party, so to speak. So
we are in good times. We just got to make sure it is Goldilocks and not Cinderella.